Hey, what's up, Reefers? I'm Reefer Matt, and welcome back to the Reef Cave. Today I want to talk about 3D printing for our reef tanks. I've made a whole bunch of cool stuff so far, and I can't wait to show you. I made frag rags, mushroom baskets, all kinds of stuff. So let's have a look. All right, well, let's get into it, shall we? First, I'll start with the frag rags I made. Check these out. I got the idea from these because I ordered some, and I just made my own design. You can design these on places such as like Tinkercad or any CAD program, or you could just find somebody that has what's called an STL file and you can print them out on your own 3D printer. I made a few other colors too. Got yellow and green, and of course they glow under the lights too. So you can make different sizes of these. These are just little mini ones sort of. And I also made, everybody's familiar with these, mushroom basket. And you want to make sure you do a clear lid so the light can get through. And I'll show you, I'm using one actually right now. I just don't use the lid. Check this out with these mushrooms right here. Okay, and here's the mushroom basket I was talking about earlier. As you can see, I do have some mushrooms in it, and I don't use the top because these guys aren't really floating away or anything, but the top, if you have something like anemones or something maybe, you can use the top. But there's one of those mushroom baskets there. And then some other cool things I made is this bristleworm trap. I didn't design it, but I printed it out. I made my own lid for it. But it's got a cool little basket in there. It's all one piece. So you can get like a little piece of rubber and a rubber band. And I like squid because squid really stinks. And that gets the bristleworms in there. They can come in, but they can't come out. Then you just get rid of them when you take this back out of the tank. But this design works really good. There's only two little holes for them to get into, but that's all you need. And that's a really good one there. So I use this all the time, and it's a good product. And I also made, everybody's familiar with the little pea cups. I made little racks. I sell at frag swaps, and I like to use these cups more so than the bags. But I was tired of when I put the frags in here, they would hit the sides and, maybe break off a tip or something. So what I did is I designed this little rack right here to be put in here. And also as a bonus, people could take these and put them in their tanks too. They'll actually sink. And they can put their frags on here. And I use these too. I'll show you that in my frag tank right now. And these are just really handy to have, other than just, when you go to a swap and you get them in the cup, you can also use them in your tank. So that way you don't just toss it, you'll have something to use. And another cool thing I made is like this little puck. This is sort of like a prototype, but it's a cone shape. So this is for like cone shaped corals. So that way you can just stick them on the bottom of your tank if you don't have sand. And I'll show you what I did with this trachea right here in this video. I'm actually using one of these too, and that's really what I designed it for, was coned bottom corals, and it works pretty good. So I'll just probably thin this out because it's a solid piece, and just to make it so it uses less filament. But this is a pretty good item for holding those corals in place too. So it was pretty neat just to be able to do that. Just out of thin air, I thought about it. I'm like, how am I going to get this thing up? I don't have a sand bed in my frag tank, and this took care of the problem. Oh, and as a side note with all this stuff, these come in a certain size, but with a 3D printer, you can make these any size you want. So, say this basket's too big, it's like a 4-inch basket, 4-inch diameter. So if you want to make it a 2 or 3, it's no problem with 3D printers. You can actually readjust the size and make this whatever you want, or make it bigger. So don't worry about that either. That's the cool part about 3D printers. And it's not like pictures, where you try to make a small picture bigger and it doesn't come out good. It still comes out high quality too. Same thing with the frag rack. So you can just make it as big as your printer bed is, or make it smaller for whatever you want to make different shapes. The sky's the limit really for what you want to do. All right, now I want to show you the really cool stuff. This is my Neptune trident. I printed out the mini trident, and I also made a little cover. See that? That's for the reagents. The top part didn't come out so good. I got to figure out how to do my supports. I'm still a beginner myself, so but I'll show you underneath there. That's where my reagents are for that. I might as well check them on here. Oh, there's still some left in there. Good. Good. And underneath here is just all the guts for the trident itself. But that's what came out when I printed it. and it just seemed kind of unfinished. So I went ahead and made this, put the Neptune logo on it. I just wasn't happy with the top, but this printed upside down like this, and it was tough to get my supports to have the right amount of space in between them. So I mean, I could always sand that down if I want, but really, it doesn't bother me too much. It just covers up my reagents like that. So I like it pretty much, pretty good. And I'll show you my other one. And here's my other one. You can, like I said, you can make these in any color you want. So I made this one in black. I mean, you can make it in orange, you can make it whatever. The filament comes in any color of the rainbow. And same thing. And of course, the same little ridges, but that's cool. I'll check these. Getting a little low on the elk one there. I'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, see, that just hides that and makes it look a little more presentable, I think. Hey guys, if you haven't signed up for a Reef to Reef account, what are you waiting for? There's all kinds of contests and giveaways, and you can even make friends and talk to experts. So sign up for a free account today and tell them Reefer Matt sent you. All right, now into my messy room in here. I did not make these big frag rags here, but these were the inspiration for the ones that I made. I ordered these. I'll put a link in the description if you want to order big ones like these. These are just printed on a big 3D printer. But they're really nice, and they're pretty decent on price too. I did make this little one here though to go with it, and it's got little angled feet because I kind of made it like a jewelry case where it's angled. I do own Frenchy Frags. That's my business. I just sell at one frag swap here in Michigan. But I just want to show you, if you are a vendor at a frag swap, you can also make your own stuff for that too. Like all these little price things here. I made these myself. And they all glow under the lights, of course. And you can make them any color you want. You can make them yellow, green, orange, pink, whatever you want. And these are just little pointers that I made too. When people were picking out their coral, they're like, I want that one, that one, that one. And these glow too. So that was just something that, I just thought about and made it a reality. And there's my logo for the business. And it's a little crooked. And it's Frenchy Frags. Like I said, I don't mail anything. I just sell locally for now, but maybe someday that'll change. And also, I made these little dividers. So, if I want to have something off to the side, I can just grab a divider, and just have like a little area like that, and then just stick, one of these little plugs in just like that. So it's pretty neat. Sky's the limit. Basically, your imagination's the limit, really. What you can do with a 3D printer. But that's just some of the things you can do selling at a frag swap. Just get the little price things and, come up with whatever you want. Okay, excuse my messy reef cave. So the next part, either you'll laugh at me or you'll be like, that's genius. Oh, and there's some of those frag racks I'm making. I'll show you that in a minute too. So this is a rimless tank. And a rimless tank on the top is only held together by the silicone. It does have a bottom frame, but there's no top frame. And that just didn't sit well with me. The silicone looked brand new. Actually, it looked like somebody just resealed it. And there was no bowing in the glass, really, like, I don't know, maybe less than a 16th. But that just really bugged me because I like to have fully framed tanks. So what I did is I 3D printed little corners here. And that's plastic. That's not going to really hold the tank together. But what will is more silicone on the outside of here, sort of acting, let me focus in, sort of acting like another layer, if you will, of that's already there on the other side and inside there. So it'll hold it together or just give me peace of mind, right? That's just the part you can laugh at. If you're like, that ain't going to do nothing. But either way, it doesn't really interfere with the aesthetics of the tank. And if it makes it a little safer, then I'm happy with that. But it does give me a little peace of mind, like I said. And I just used the same Aquarium silicone, and I just attached it on there. So that was something cool. And also these frag racks I'm making. This is going to be my LPS frag tank. I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of glare here. And I'm just making my own frag racks for it. I got 10 of them I got to make. And then I'm going to make little clips to hold them together. And the reason why I'm going with these is because that way I can just take one little rack out at a time if I need to get to something, you know, snail flips over or something. I had those bigger racks in my other tank, and it's kind of a pain to take the whole rack out with all the coral on it. So this way I could just kind of move some coral to the side, and I'll just take one rack out at a time. And like I said, I'll just have little clips to hold them together. And that's just something else that I thought I'd share too. Like I said, I don't know how much more it'll help, but you know, helps me sleep at night. I know that. So far I like it. This tank's been cycling since June 28th. And what I do, little side note for cycling a tank, is I put shrimp in there and I just use one of these little ammonia alerts. As you can see, there's some ammonia in there. It's not yellow. But yeah, I just use shrimp if I can focus on them. And they get all fuzzy and nasty. And if you pull them out, they stink. So that's how you know that the bacteria are eating them. So that's good. I cycled it with Microbacter 7. And I've had these rocks before. These are sort of like, they were dry rock and then they were live rock. And then I took them out and they were dry rock again. So they're like old dry rock, basically. They were like maybe a year old. They didn't really get a lot of stuff on them. So I figured I'd repurpose them for this tank. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look at 3D printing. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff we can make for our tanks. And they come in a variety of colors too. So really, the sky's the limit on what you want to make. I'm Reefer Matt. Thank you for watching and happy reefing.